Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. In this session, we are going to see how to group a data. What is a grouping of data in PostgreSQL server? Okay, so as usual, the agenda would be brief understanding of data grouping or grouping of data and then practical demo. So what is grouping of data? So basically it's nothing but in your result set. Now when we say grouping of data, it doesn't do or it doesn't alter anything onto the base table itself. So whenever you write a query, if you want, sometimes the business requirement is that you want to group a data. So for example, if I can give that there are several customers, right? And you want to find out that how much sale was done to a specific customer. Now, from in your invoice file, there would be individual sales, details. And if you want to group, then if you want to group customer wise, then the grouping of data comes into the picture. So, grouping is data is nothing but actually a grouping of the rows from the final query to get an aggregate results. Okay, so divide rows into several groups. And then we would also see what is an having. It's nothing but as we have seen the where clause or the filter clause, which is called as a filter clause, right? Where predicate or filter predicate. This is having is, if you want to filter over and above of where, and if you want to filter a group data. Okay. So I will show you the hierarchy also, but just for now understand that having is nothing but filtering of a group data. Okay. So as usual, let us see in action. Okay. So basically, group, you will have to group a data with the help of a group by clause. Okay. Group by clause is used to group a data. So here you can see select the column name or the field names and then any aggregate functions from the table name and then a group by clause. Now you can group on any number of columns. Okay, it can be one, more than one, two, three, and so on. What is an order of executions? So basically, the query order of execution is in this way. Initially, from clause would be executed, then a where, then a group by, then a having, and then a select like the columns would be selected, then a distinct, then a order by, and then if a limit, if you use the limit clause, we have already seen in our earlier session what is the limit clause. Okay, so basically this is the order of execution of a your query, and whenever you are using any aggregate function, right, like sum, average, mean, max, if you are using an aggregate function with other columns, then it's always necessary that you will have to group that with whatever columns you have specified. Okay, so let me show you first the query. Here you can see I'm joining payment table with a customer table, and I'm just currently retrieving these three columns: first name, amount, and payment date. Okay, so let us see what comes in. So you can see here with the name is repeated, and we can see the amount for them, different amounts on different dates. If you can see here, right? This is on 15, 16. On 16 there are two, 19, 20, and 21. And similarly, it is for another customer. So let us start with a basic grouping. How you want to group? Now what I want is that customer wise, I want a customer wise total of the amount. So for only one record should be shown for the Peter and the total of all these records. Okay. So how do you do that? You write a customer name. Okay, basic join remains the same. For example, you can see here from payment inner join customer and on customer ID I'm joining. Okay, basic joins of the query remains the same. You write a customer name and then you use a sum aggregate function, and inside that you specify what column you want to have a summation. So I'm specifying amount, that please do a summation on amount. Now as soon as I use this aggregate function, you will have to use a group by clause. So whenever to how to use the group by clause, like group by and then a column name. So generally it is a rule of thumb that whatever columns you are specifying here, right, apart from the aggregate function, right, you don't have to specify in a group by clause the amount, because amount you are using in an aggregate function. Okay, so all the columns which you have specified in a select query apart from aggregate function, you will have to use all those into your group by clause. Okay, correct. So let us execute this and see what are the results. See, as I told you, now these are the aggregated results. Okay, for Danny, you can say 73.82, Amber 113, and so on. Okay, so this was an aggregated results. What was the aggregated results? On each first name, we have actually summed up the amount. Okay. Now let us add one more column, that is a date. Okay, as I shown you, we had taken a date also, and different dates are there for each transaction. Okay, so here now what I want is that I want to group on a date also. So I want to group on two columns, that is first name also and then a date also. Here date is the function again, is to convert your date time value into the date part, right? In a Okay, let me show you. So if you can see here in query, my column, oops, sorry, my column contains date as well as the time part also. Okay, so I want to eliminate the time part, and for that this date function is used, which will eliminate the time here. And now you can see for Peter, for 16 there were two records. So basically now there would be multiple records for the first name, but a unique record for the each date. So for each customer on each date, what was the amount? Okay, and as I told you that whatever columns you take apart from this aggregate function, if you don't specify that column right into the group by clause, then it will actually provide an error. So let me first execute only this part of the query, and you can see column payment must appear in the group by clause or be used as an aggregate function. Okay, this is a simple function. Date is a function, but it's not an aggregate function. So if you don't specify that column into your group by part, then it will actually error out. Okay, so now I have used this as well here. So now you can, if I execute this query, now you can see that for each customer, for different dates it has summed up the amount. So you can see here for Jeremy for 19.3 and 11.4. Similarly, there can be more as well here. Peter, we know it's not ordered, so very difficult to find, but we I shown you for the Jeremy. Okay, now let us move ahead. Now it's not that basically you cannot use another clause, as I shown you the hierarchy. So now here with the help of a group by clause, I am ordering the records, the final results. So here see, we were finding a difficult in finding the proper record. So what we are specifying, the order by clause. So over and above with the group by clause, order by clause always should be after the group by clause. You cannot put order by clause because you want to order, right, the whole result set, right? So order by should always come after the group by clause. Rest of the query remains the same. I'm executing this, and now you can see it has been ordered. So now you can see for Arun for different dates, the record has been summed up. For each date, it was a summation, and you can see there are so many records. Okay, let us move ahead. Here, now you can see I'm ordering by date first. Here you can see in my earlier query, we ordered by customer name, first name, but now in this, I'm ordering on the date and then a customer name. Okay, so let us see. So you can see here for all, so the record, the final result set would be order on date. So 14 for all and then a customer. Okay, this is my order by clause. Okay, this is again the same. Okay, now here you can actually order on the aggregate function as well. So until now here we were only using the another column which were not part of an aggregate function. But you can actually order on an aggregate function also. You will have to specify the same syntax here. So you can see after order by I am specifying sum of p amount, and then you can also specify descending or an ascending. So in this case what will happen? It will generate a result set, and then depending upon the summation, it will order the records on the descending order of the total sum here. Total sum means with the, as we have grouped by first name. Okay. So let us see here. You can see here 302 was the first, 245, 237, and under, if the order amount are same, summation amount are same, then under that case it would get ordered by the first name. So you can see 302 was the first. So this way you can find out that who was the customer who has an highest sales. Okay. So you can always order by on an aggregate function as well. Now it's not that you can use only one aggregate function into the query. You can use multiple aggregate functions. So here you can see I am summing up the amount. I am finding the average of that amount also. Now when we say average, again as we have used a group by clause, so average would be create or calculated for the first name. So for all the common first name, actually average would be created as similar to sum. And then I'm counting the records also. So for each customer, I would count that how many transactions were done. Okay. So let me execute this, and you can see here. Okay, because we have ordered by some p amount on descending, so it is actually ordering on this column. But you can see here we have found out an average also, and we have found out the total transaction also. You can see for Marian, total transaction or the total records in the table were 66. For Tracy it was 53, the average was 4.63, and the sum was 2.45. Okay, so let us do an order by, oops, sorry, on a first name, right? So now you can see here for each customer we have this data. Okay, now it is on the basis of customer, that is also in descending order. But for each customer we have summation, the average for that customer, and the total payment, or the you can say count of, basically count of records. So for Jackery it was 29. So this was basically, this way you can group in multiple ways. You can group, you can use more than one aggregate function into the query. You can order on the aggregate function and so on. Okay. So now let us see further what is an having clause. Let me first execute this query. As I told you, what is an having? Having is nothing but filtering upon, over and above the where clause, that is filtering the group data. So here I have grouped the data. Now from this group data, I want to find out that how many records are there whose total amount is greater than 100. So here you can see we have to write having and then a where condition, similar to where condition. So we have aggregated on this. So we say aggregated column greater than 100. So from the result set, so it will first aggregate, and upon that result set it will actually filter out. So when I execute this column, now you can see it will show you only, you know the amount which is greater than 100. Earlier, it was showing us all the amount. So you can see here that 73 was that Danny would actually be eliminated from this result because we have used an having clause. So having, if you want to filter a group data or aggregated data, and then you can use an having clause. So here I have shown you where clause also, just for the difference. So having is not, having is not a where. Where is what it actually, where is basically you are filtering the base result. Okay, now upon the base result you do an aggregation, and then with the help of having, you are actually filtering the group results or an aggregated result. So here you can see we are finding the result set only for the first customer whose first name starts from an A. Okay, so this is a where clause. Now depending upon all those customers, so let us first see how many are the customers. So you can see these are the customer who were grouped by first name and then amount. Okay, now out of these also, so now our result set is basically filtered whose customer name starts with A only. You can see only A records are displayed. Now out of this, from this result sets also, we want that only customers whose total amount was greater than 100 should be displayed. So basically, this Antonio would be removed, Annette would be removed, Anne would be removed. Okay, let us see here. Everyone is removed, and only customers who has the total amount greater than 100 would be displayed. So this way you can use an having clause. So just understand, where is not an having, right? There is a big difference. Where is used for a base filtering of your query, basic filter for your select query, and having is used for filtering of your aggregated results. Okay, this is the basic difference between your where clause and having clause. Hope guys, you have understood the group by clause and having clause. As usual, do as much as practice you can to understand it in better way. You can always write or leave me a comment if if you are facing any issues in understanding, or if you want some more knowledge on this. I would be very happy to help you out. Um, don't forget to subscribe my channel and press a like button. Okay, that's it for today, guys. Meet you in next video with next topic. Till then, bye and take care.